If you're juggling multiple HDMI devices like a cable box, gaming consoles, streaming sticks, and Blu-ray players, you probably thought the JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI Switch would be your ultimate solution. But here's what surprised me. This seemingly perfect 5-in-1 HDMI switch, priced under $20 and boasting 4K at 60 Hz support, HDR, Dolby Atmos, and even auto switching, hides some frustrating quirks that could ruin your home theater experience. You'd expect smooth, seamless switching, right? Well, I'm about to reveal why this budget-friendly switch might not be the hero you hoped for, especially if you prioritize reliability and picture quality. Stick around because the truth might just change how you connect your entertainment setup. Now, before you scroll away, let me ask you, have you ever eagerly plugged in a new device only to find your HDMI switch refuses to recognize it? Or worse, your audio drops out and your video flickers? If yes, this review is absolutely for you. Whether you're a casual binger, a serious gamer, or someone running multiple streaming sources, getting the right HDMI switch feels crucial. But is the JTech Digital 5x1 the switch that'll simplify your life or complicate it further? Let's dive deep and find out, promise. I'll save the technical mumbo-jumbo for just the right moments so you get the full picture without feeling lost. First, why this HDMI switch is appealing at a glance. The JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI switch boasts 5 HDMI inputs directed into one output, which means you can ditch the annoying cable swapping when switching between a Roku, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One X, PlayStation 4 Pro, and even your Blu-ray player. It supports 4K resolution at 60 Hz with HDR and HDR 12-bit color. So if you have a crisp UHD TV, you should get a stunning picture. It also supports advanced audio formats like Dolby Atmos and DTS, a dream combo for audiophiles eager for home theater quality sound. On paper, it's a powerhouse at a rock-bottom price of just under $20. Sounds perfect, right? Well, sometimes even a shiny bargain has a few cracks beneath the surface. Here's the first twist. Many users report that the auto-switching function, where the switch detects the latest powered-on device and switches to it automatically, isn't as smooth or reliable as claimed. My own testing revealed that the switch sometimes misses recognizing the active device or switches erratically between inputs without any user prompt. Imagine setting your Xbox for a game night, only to have the switch jump back to your cable box mid-game because it thinks it's more important. It's like your HDMI switch has a mind of its own, but not in a good way. On the flip side, the manual button and IR remote do work, but can sometimes feel laggy or unresponsive, hooking a bit of frustration into convenience. Rehook alert. Are you wondering if this switch can actually deliver on crystal clear 4K video and high-definition audio? Or will you end up with signal drops and scrambled sound? I'll reveal the audio-video performance inconsistencies next, so keep watching. Digging deeper into performance, the JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI switch supports HDCP 2.2, essential for 4K content protection, and HDMI 2.0 bandwidth of 18 Gbps, theoretically enough for 4K HDR gaming and streaming. However, practical use paints a mixed picture. While the switch often delivers gorgeous 4K at 60 Hz visuals with Dolby Vision on compatible devices, some users report occasional signal loss or the dreaded no-signal error when switching inputs or waking devices from standby. This can mean having to unplug and replug cables or power cycle the switch, a chore nobody wants during movie night. On the audio front, the box promises support for Dolby True HD, Dolby Atmos, DTS, X, and more, which sounds like home theater nirvana. In real-world testing, when it worked, the sound was crisp, immersive, and aligned with the best audio formats from your devices. But here's the kicker. Some users complain about audio dropout during input switches or the switch failing to pass through high-definition audio, resulting in bland stereo sound or no sound through certain setups. So if you're a home theater buff expecting flawless audio surround, this inconsistency could be a deal breaker. It's a bit like ordering upgraded popcorn at the movies, but only getting Peanut M and Miss Sweet, but not what you hoped. Need a laugh? Here's one. Why did the gamer bring a ladder to the HDMI Switch review? Because he heard the connection needed a boost. All right, back to business. Who exactly is the JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI Switch best for then? If you have a few 4K devices, but don't mind occasionally toggling the input manually or dealing with minor glitches, it can be a budget-friendly way to keep your cables consolidated and your setup neater. It's perfect for casual users who want the option of 4K and HDR without paying premium Switch prices. Plus, if you're tech-savvy and don't mind troubleshooting or toggling settings here and there, the free lifetime support from JTech's Texas-based team is a nice safety net. But if your priority is rock-solid reliability, seamless auto-switching, zero signal drop, and perfect audio-video pass-through every time, especially in a high-end home theater environment, you might want to keep looking. There are pricier switches out there for sure, but they come with better build quality and customer satisfaction. Here's another twist you might not be expecting: the build and design. The Switch is compact, lightweight, and minimalist, which is good for tight spaces. It has an IR remote with clearly labeled numbered buttons, which helps identify your inputs at a glance. However, the USB-powered adapter uses a rather flimsy cable that feels prone to wear and tear. One Amazon reviewer joked that if their HDMI Switch could tweet, it would be complaining about spaghetti cables all day long, comically capturing the bulk wiring situation you might face. So if cable management is your obsession, pairing it with a good power supply and neat cable organizers is recommended. Rehook again. Wondering if this 5-port Switch works well with gaming consoles like the Nintendo Switch or Xbox One X, especially for intense gaming or streaming? I tested that too, and the results might surprise you. When it comes to gaming, the JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI Switch can deliver blistering 4K graphics at 60 FPS if the Switch cooperates. But here's the catch. It sometimes struggles returning to the gaming console input after switching to a streaming device, causing temporary black screens or glitchy frames before locking back in. This delay can kill immersion when you're racing, shooting, or exploring expansive game worlds. Similarly, the HDR feature does pop on during gameplay, but occasionally flickers or resets when switching sources. This may not ruin casual gaming sessions, but if you treat every frame as sacred, it's a compromise. Funny enough, I joked that this Switch is like a moody teenager, sometimes cooperative, sometimes ignoring your commands completely. But unlike a teenager, it doesn't come with an eye roll, just a black screen. Still, that remote and manual button can bail you out if you're patient. Okay, here's a storage and setup pro tip. The Switch's package includes everything you need to get started: a power cable, IR remote, and user manual. Setting up is straightforward. Just plug your devices, connect to the TV, plug in power, and you're ready for occasional quirks and troubleshooting adventures. Also, JTech offers a free Control 4 driver if you want to integrate it into a smart home system, which is a nice bonus for automation enthusiasts. So how do you handle these drawbacks and still get the best out of this Switch? My advice: turn off auto switching if it frustrates you, and switch inputs manually using the remote or button. Keep your devices powered consistently rather than power cycling mid-use to reduce signal drops. And if you run into trouble, reach out to JTech's support team. They have a reputation for quick and helpful responses, which is a huge plus. Here's the final big picture. The JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI Switch isn't perfect. Its price, features, and specs make it a serious contender for your home entertainment, unless you're expecting flawless performance and glitch-free auto switching. It's especially suited for casual users, tech tinkerers, or anyone looking to consolidate multiple HD devices cost-effectively. If you want simplicity and top-tier reliability without compromise, you might be better served looking at some higher-end switches that cost 2 or 3 times as much. One last quick joke before we wrap. Why don't HDMI switches ever get lost? Because they always know how to connect with their devices. Okay, that was cheesy, but now you're well connected with all facts. If you're interested in giving the JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI switch a try, or upgrading your setup on a budget, I've linked the best price on Amazon in the description below. But be aware, prices change pretty fast, so if you see a good deal, don't wait too long. Grab it while you can. In conclusion, the JTech Digital 5x1 HDMI switch offers excellent value with support for modern 4K and audio standards, a compact design, and plenty of inputs. It's perfect if you want to declutter your home entertainment system affordably. Just be ready for some hiccups with auto switching and occasional signal quirks, and trust me, a little patience goes a long way. With the right setup and expectations, this HDMI switch can simplify your life and keep your media devices all playing nice together. Thanks for watching and happy streaming.